Broke girls can't afford food as hard times arrive. Today's video comes from the Snyder Reports. His channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check him out and support him. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of women no longer being able to afford food and how that's going to affect not only women but society going forward. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble. You never really know what's going to happen on this channel, so go and follow us over there. Our Rumble is linked in the description of the video. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. After a message from Angry's Crypto Academy, I've said it plenty of times and I will say it again, guys. Hard times are here. The financial system is teetering on the edge. ATMs will freeze and the banks will shut their doors. Your wealth in jeopardy. Discover how to safeguard your assets with crypto. At Angry's Crypto Academy, you'll learn how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in the most secure coins. Plus, discover the dark horse crypto that virtually no one is talking about, which will mint you millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the description below to find out what this crypto is and to join the academy. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
So Americans just aren't spending money like we used to. And this is actually hurting millions of people, but also certain industries. Today I want to break down what I've recently seen and experienced, but what is happening all across the country, especially in the state of California. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but first, all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So just recently, I was reading an article that somebody sent me. This is the article. I was reading this just the other day. This article says more adults are ordering fast food kids meals. Here's why. Now, when I was reading this, the first thing in my mind was many adults are conscious about their weight and they're just eating less. They just don't need a Big Mac meal. They don't need a 20-piece McNugget meal. Right? They don't need that. They're good with a Happy Meal. Got a burger, fries, drink, and then you got maybe some apples or a little toy. That's it. And I thought that's great. Well, then I was reading this article and I want to read this to you. It says, for decades, fast food has been America's common denominator. No matter if you were rich or poor or somewhere in the middle, you could always count on a quick, cheap meal at a burger joint, fried chicken restaurant, or taco shop. Today, fast food is still fast. However, many argue it is no longer cheap. That is true. Now, just recently I was down in Las Vegas and we spent the majority of our time eating at different restaurants and different fast food places and ate in just a little bit. But what I found was prices were actually cheaper than what they were last year or the last time I was there. Now, what I think is interesting about this is more people now can't afford a simple meal. And it doesn't matter if it's in Las Vegas or here in Seattle or somewhere else. It's completely different. Let me keep reading this to you. It says, according to data collected by Finance Buzz, fast food menu prices have risen between 39% and 100% over the past 10 years, outpacing inflation. McDonald's prices have doubled, Popeyes is up 86%, and Taco Bell prices have climbed by 81%. Meanwhile, we still see there are these deals, right? These buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's. The McDonald's meal for $5, right? You get the nuggets, the burger, the fries, right? And the drink, all for $5. They're trying to compete with Wendy's, trying to compete with Burger King and places like that. KFC, for instance, which they're now moving out of Kentucky and they're moving to Texas. Why? It's cheaper. It's cheaper. That's why they're going. But guess what? KFC was trying to compete with all these other big restaurants and big chains, and they were offering things like a $5 fill-up. Well, this was years ago. Now, for the same meal, it's like $9 to $10. It's ridiculous. It says inflation, meanwhile, has only risen 31% since 2014. It says at most quick service restaurants, a meal deal will cost you more than $10, if not closer to 20. This has led to a quiet revolution. More adult customers are opting for kids' meals. Now, the person that sent me this also left a little comment. This is what they wrote. So the email I received, this is what they wrote. This person says,
So just to be clear, they're basically opting for kids' meals because they still want to enjoy the taste of McDonald's, but they don't have McDonald's money. That is so messed up. And you know what's funny? Some of y'all are like, it's still affordable. I've seen comments from idiots. There's some of you on my channel that are just jerks, like absolute fools. Like, I only make like $15 an hour, and I can still eat, and I eat at McDonald's every day. Guys, listen, even though I make pretty good money doing what I do, a lot of you have very bad money management skills. Like I used to eat at McDonald's regularly, and I had to cut that crap out because I got priced out, you know? Plus the food was making me sick. So I don't eat fast food anymore. Basically every meal is at home now. However, when it costs like $6, $7 for a freaking McDouble, you're out of your damn minds. Like, only a fool. I don't know what's wrong with some of these people. Like, I feel like they're just coming here to like basically spread their nonsense. And a lot of these people are going to be the ones that are in Tyrone 10 City because TTCs. And once you go into a TTC, you're not going to come out of a TTC. You're seeing more and more videos of women crying on social media or recording their calls, conference calls with HR, as they get fired. Because a lot of people are still working remotely now after the events of 2020. A lot of people do remote work now, and they're being fired. They're being fired, let go from their jobs, and you're seeing now that modern women, a lot of women, they can't afford food, the rent is due, they can't afford the cost of the rent, and they don't know how they're going to survive and make it through the next day. And the crazy thing about it is that they cannot turn to men and say, "Men, help us," because they'll try, but men are not going to come to the rescue. And then you've got guys like JD Vance, and I like JD Vance. I think he's a pretty decent guy talking about masculinity and and men basically not shouldn't listen to society. But JD Vance, I believe, also has traditional values. Now, there's a difference between having traditional values and being a traditionalist, although he very well may be a traditionalist. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Traditionalism is not good for men in Western society anymore. All right. It's not, it's one thing to have traditional values. All right. It's another thing to be a traditionalist. And the traditionalist notion is that the man is supposed to provide, the woman is supposed to stay home. Modern women now want traditional men, all right, even though they are not traditional women. Okay. So to say that when you say that, someone says I have traditional values, that doesn't mean that you're a traditionalist, because a traditionalist is something completely different. It just means that you have some values that are in line with the kinds of values that people had traditionally versus straight up traditionalism where it's like, the man stays home and work, the man goes to work and the woman stays home and raises the kids. Modern women have put themselves between a rock and a hard place because men are no longer playing that game. They said we want the beer, and men are now like, go hang out with Yogi and Boo Boo, but it's like calling their bluff because they don't want to go out to the woods. They don't want to go hang out in the woods with Yogi and Boo Boo and find out what that life is about. Even though they said that's what they wanted, they don't want to live that life now. All right. And it's like, bro, you're out in the streets, so you might as well just be out in the woods. Just think of it as a great big adventure, except you're gonna be hanging out with bears and anything can happen. You know, that's it's kind of like Girls Gone Wild, if except it's bears gone wild, and you're out in the wild, and you know, there's really no one around to hear you scream, but that's cool. That's cool because that could be you letting out your enthusiasm for how great life is, or as you're running away from the bear. Either way, you chose that for yourself, and you're going to have to live with the consequences of those decisions. And that's something that modern women don't like. They don't like the idea of consequences and having to live with consequences because, they're bailed out of every bad decision that they make, except this time it's not going to happen. There's no Uncle Sam is not going to run to the rescue and subsidize their living. And they think that the simp economy is moving overseas. So they think they're going to try to find men who have traditional values, men of virtue, to save them. And it's not happening. I've covered videos by a guy named Jim a couple of times. This guy was a guy who had traditional values. Now he's getting ready to become a blue book gentleman. I think he may have already gone over to Vietnam or traveled a little bit. And he's talking about having his Filipina maid in the Philippines. He's 52, having his Filipina maid. And, this is what women do in Western society. They corrupt good men. They turn good men into bad men, or good men into women, to men who are aware of how women think and how women operate. And these men basically say, yeah, screw society, screw the world. I understand how women think now. I'm just going to walk away. And it's about me, about getting my money and living my best life. And you have to understand something. At this point in our lives as men, we don't have much life left. Like I'm gonna be 42 this year, and some of y'all like, you're a baby. Let me tell you something. I don't have the health to I don't really know how much longer I have. One thing's for sure, I probably won't come anywhere close to the boomers. Like the average boomer is living to age 79. The boomers have the longest life expectancy of any generation in the history of the world by far. The longest life expectancy of a generation before the boomers was age 63. That's actually the reason why, or one of the reasons why it feels like the boomers have been around forever. It's because the typical average life expectancy, including for the silent generation, did not pass 63 years old. And now the boomers are living far beyond that. And there's currently 71 million boomers in the US, and they're not budging. They're refusing to, go and move on, go to the next one, or hell for that matter. You know, so it's we're basically stuck with them, and they're holding on to all the wealth and resources for themselves and making it very hard for us to survive and thrive because they stole our futures while we were in diapers. Hard times are here, and as a result of that, people don't really know what to do. But, those of you that are holding crypto, you know what to do because hard times have arrived. ATMs will stop working, banks will chain the doors, and the only way that you're going to be able to protect your wealth and safeguard your future is going to be with crypto. And at Angry's Crypto Academy, we'll teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. And we'll tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot coins to invest in. Also, you can uncover 4 coins that virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the video description below to find out what these cryptos are and join the academy today.
As a McDonald's worker, I'm always seeing interesting things. For instance, a college basketball team came into our restaurant this past weekend and their coach ordered 30 Happy Meals for the team. When I told him that we were out of the toys, he replied, "That's fine. These are for the team anyway, and they won't want them. It's just cheaper doing this than letting the boys order their meals separately." Person went on and said, "I found it interesting that even a college sports team is ordering Happy Meals as a way to save money." A Happy Meal is supposed to be a child's meal.
Bro, 30 Happy Meals. Y'all, this is the epitome of poverty. This is poverty. So you've got these basketball players who are like on average 6'5", 7 feet tall, eating a a hamburger or 4 chicken nuggets and a small drink and a small fries. We are now in the midst of poverty. And of course, we've been lied to completely. The actual unemployment rate has been predicted by many economists to be actually around 24%. And it makes perfect sense when you look at the fact that no one is able to find work, but they changed the system, the way that we view unemployment, so that if you basically give up and stop looking for work, they say that you're no longer unemployed. How corrupt does the system have to be? But I went to business school, and one thing that my business professor told us is he said that I just want you all to remember that the economy exists entirely within our heads. If people believe that that times are bad, they will pull back and they will stop spending. If they believe that times are good, they will keep spending. He pointed out that even with a 10% unemployment rate, 90% of people still have their jobs. Don't get me wrong, 10% unemployment is still a lot, but 90% of people still have their jobs. And if everyone believes that the economy is doing okay and that we're not in a recession, they're going to keep spending anyway. What we're seeing right now is doom spending, which is terrible, but it illustrates his point. Something that I learned, wow, about what was that, 15? How long ago was business school? Man, that was a couple of decades ago. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The links in the description. Go check it out now. Y'all need to pray for Angry. Y'all need to pray for Angry. This is actually the eighth, count it, the eighth video that I'm recording today. I know you're like, what, Angry? Yeah, I'll explain, because like, so a lot of times I end up recording the videos. I just record them and I'm releasing them throughout the day. Although if I can, I record them from the day before. So I recorded 3 videos today, I dropped 3 videos today for you guys, and I recorded another 3 videos so that I could drop the next 3 videos on Sunday. And I'm recording the next. I've recorded so far 1 video for Monday, and now I'm the working on the second video, because I hopefully want to give you guys at least 2, maybe 3 videos on Monday. And it's like, and the reason why I'm doing it like this is because I want to take a day off so I can rest. But if for me to take a day off so that I can actually get some real rest, then I need to be about 2 days ahead, so that I don't have to start working the very next day immediately, or preparing. So for example, because if I only have tomorrow Sunday's videos recorded, then I'm gonna have to start working on Monday's videos on Sunday. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So for me to actually have Sunday off and not have to worry about Monday, then I need to start work. Then I need to really knock out those videos all on Su- all on Su- all on the day on Saturday, the day before. It's crazy. It's crazy. I talk about work ethic, but that's just life, y'all. That's just life. But I chose this for myself, and I kind of bring this up because I want you to understand that Gen Zers, they're not going to be able to handle something like this. This type of lifestyle of self-employment, where it's about the grind and the hustle. I don't know, guys. I'm telling you, life is hard. Life is hard, and modern women, they don't know anything about this type of lifestyle. They're used to having everything handed to them. They're used to, being absolved and freed of consequences because someone will bail them out, and it's not going to happen this time. They're going to basically have to deal with the consequences for decisions that they've made. And now you're seeing that that broke girls can't afford food as hard times have arrived. What do you think about everything we discussed here today? Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWAM and walking away and share.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.